Hey guys, it's Mary. So today I decided to do something I haven't done in a long time, which is a book review. And the book is How to Hang a Wish by Adriana Mather. This is the story of a girl whose name is Sam. She's related to Cotton Mather, who played a huge role in the Salem witch trials by condemning these accused witches to death. Her father has recently gone into a coma, and her stepmother has decided that Sam and herself should move to Salem from New York, where her father grew up, and then they would have Sam's father's body transferred to Salem's hospital. And when they get there, they're greeted by an old friend of Sam's father and her son. And she's not really feeling welcome in the community. People are dying around here. As soon as she gets to school, she's getting these really weird and mad looks, all because of her like great something grandfather. And she is like trying to figure out like how she can stop all these weird things from happening with the other descendants from the other Salem witches that were condemned to death. And this weird ghost that comes into the story because he lived in the house, which is one of the weirdest things. And I gave this book 5 stars on Goodreads because I just really couldn't put it down. I really liked learning the history about the Salem witch trials. I liked how the author is actually a 12th descendant from Cotton Mather, and she kind of like spun that into the author's note at the end and said that he played a huge part in the witch trials, more than she could put in there. And most of the facts are true in the story, but not all of them, because obviously it's a work of fiction. Some things have to be made up. So I really like that. And basically the whole storyline was just interesting, and I liked trying to figure out like why her stepmother was gone the whole time. Like, I didn't necessarily like the ghost. The ghost was kind of weird, and the only really thing I didn't like about the book was this weird love triangle. Okay, so there's this ghost who is not related to the Mathers, who lived in the Mather house like 400 years ago or something. He's like trying to reunite with his sister, who died of heartbreak because this like guy she was in love with denied that they ever had this relationship. So he hung himself. And now he's come back to try to help Samantha figure out this curse and how they can break it with the descendants. And so, they fall in love, which is like really weird. Like a ghost falling in love with a human and a human falling in love with a ghost. Well, this perfectly nice next door guy is like likes her, obviously, and it's very obvious that she likes him too, but like she's falling in love with the ghost. And that was just like, you're falling in love with the ghost, you're never going to be able to be with him. There's this perfectly nice guy next door, that has become a really good friend to you, that like would do nothing to hurt you, basically. And you're in love with the ghost. What in the world is wrong with you? Most of the character I liked. It was just that sometimes she did make stupid decisions, and Most of them involved that ghost. That ghost was just so odd. I just kind of found myself rolling my eyes sometimes at, like, why is this ghost here? Why did that happen? Like, I did not like the ghost. I didn't like how harsh he was at the beginning. Like, I liked how he departed the storyline, though. I do believe he should have some, like, prior knowledge of the Salem witch trials beforehand, because, like, even though there is that history, there are characters that show up that you wouldn't necessarily know about if you haven't studied them really, really, really deeply in high school or middle school or whenever you learned about the Salem witch trials, because they play important roles in the story. And I didn't really know about them until I read the book Conversion by Catherine Howe, which was like a retelling of the Salem witch trials in modern day, which it also mixed with past days just after the Salem witch trials. So I really feel that even if you don't have any knowledge about the Salem witch trials, you'll get a lot of it in this book, because most of it's true and it's really interesting, and I love how it's just like weaved into this story. But I think in able to fully enjoy this book, you really do need some prior knowledge of, like, the girls who accused the townspeople of witchcraft, because they do show up, they do say names, and I know I never learned the names of the girls when I was in high school, middle school, and college, and that wasn't helpful when I was reading Conversion. But thankfully I read Conversion before How to Hang a Witch, or else I wouldn't know those characters or look them up or anything, because because previously said they do play a huge part, especially in the ending. There's kind of like a twist, if you want to call it that. I like the twist, though. It's not a huge twist, but it's actually like this really interesting, like, thing that's ongoing in the story. You're just like wondering what's happening, like, why isn't this, like, ghost telling Sam anything about his ex-fiance, where her stepmother goes, like, how all of these, like, bad events are happening in Salem now that everybody, like, all of the key players in the witch trials have come together, from whenever the witch trials happened. My mind is drawing a blank. So I would definitely go recommend reading this. It's relatively new. It's been a few months or so. But I do think this is a wonderful story. I read this, it was a fun read. It's great. I necessarily wouldn't recommend reading it in, like, darkness, though, because it does get a little creepy sometimes. Not as creepy as Asylum, but, like, it does get to that point where you're just, like, looking around, like, you hear something, you're just like, what the hell just happened in my house? So that was that review, and I will see you guys next time with another video. Bye!